Hi, this is Joyce from This to That Creations, where I inspire you to be original in all you do and to just be you. Please follow me on Facebook and subscribe to my YouTube channel. Now let's get started on my thrift store finds. So you're going to need Mod Podge. I use a matte finish, Waverly Antique Wax you can get from Walmart, some wood lettering. I believe I got Dollar Tree or Walmart. I'm going to spell out farm, but you can do whatever you choose, or you can paint it or stencil on there. You'll need paintbrush, a foam brush, and a pencil. Scissors, and some twine. I got pink, white, and natural. I got the natural and the pink at Michael's and the white at Dollar Tree. My wood pig I got at the Goodwill for 50 cents, and this chalkboard I got for $1 at the Goodwill on a different day. Got my black buttons from my stash, my pink scrap paper, and my black and white scrap paper that looks to me kind of like wire. I get those big books, a different variety of scrap paper that I love because you can use it on different projects. And it goes a long way. So we're going to go ahead and set those aside because we don't need them right now. We'll get started on our chalkboard. So I'm going to go ahead and take the Waverly wax, antique wax, and grab our paintbrush. And I'm just going to go ahead and dip right in there and remove whatever that was. And I'm going to go ahead and go around the outer edges. I'm not going to go too heavy, but I'm not going to go too light. I decided I want to go the natural wood look. Now you want to make sure to get your inner edges and your outer edges. And if you get it on your chalkboard, that will be okay, as we can wipe it off and it won't be seen. You could paint it any color you like. You can leave it natural wood, or you can paint it white or pink, whatever your preference is. You just be you. Then we're going to go ahead and do the same thing to our lettering. I'm going to go ahead and cover it up with the antique Waverly wax. And I'm going to go ahead and wipe it down with a baby wipe and clean up my huge mess that I make. And then wipe down our chalkboard. That just makes it more like a stain when you do that. So next we're going to go ahead and we're going to grab our pig and our pink scrap paper after we clean up our mess again. And we're going to trace our pig. Then we're going to go ahead and cut it out. Now it doesn't have to be exactly on the line. It could be on the outside of the line. And so we'll go ahead and take care of that later. Next we're going to go ahead and we're going to Mod Podge and place our scrap paper where we want it. Now when you're doing the Mod Podge on your pig, you want to make sure that you don't do it too much or it will bubble, but you want to do too light or the paper won't stick. And make sure to get around your edge as well, as that's where the paper usually likes to come up. Now if you place it down wrong, if you don't stick it down too much, you can go ahead and adjust it as you've seen that I did. And now I can tell that on my edges needs maybe a little bit more Mod Podge, because that usually is your problem area. Now we're going to set it aside to let it dry and start back on our chalkboard. It's great to work in stages. We're going to go ahead and take our scrap paper and we're going to press it down to where we want the placement. Then we're going to take our X-Acto knife and we're going to cut around it. Now I found this easier to do than to trace it. I really liked how it turned out. So we're going to go ahead and Mod Podge our chalkboard. Make sure we get around all of it so that our scrap paper will stick. Once we place the scrap paper, you'll see that I have a spot at the top that is not covered. You could cover it with a piece of scrap paper, but we're going to cover it up later on. You want to start by pressing in the middle and going outwards to remove the bubbles. Now we're going to go ahead and make a little flower that I love to make with my twine. You're going to make a smaller one, so you're going to wrap it around your fingers your 3 fingers about 8 times. You're going to cut off an extra piece, pinch it in the middle, and then tie it together. I'll explain better in the next one that we do. Got a little ahead of myself. My words didn't come out right. Now we're going to go ahead and adjust it a little bit to make it even. We're going to grab our white twine and do the same thing. Wrap it around 3 fingers about 8 times. Cut it off. Cut off an extra piece to tie it together. Take it off our fingers, pinch it together in the middle, and then tie it. We will put these together and I'll show that in a minute. Then we're going to go ahead and take our natural twine and do the same thing. Wrap it around with 3 fingers, go around about 8 times, cut it off, get an extra piece, pinch it together in the middle, and tie it. I hope that makes sense. And then we're going to make the adjustments to make it even, and spread it out. So now I'm trying to decide my placement. I'm going to start with my natural twine, and I'm going to put a dab of glue. I like Gorilla Glue. I suggest using that. And then we're going to go ahead and just layer and adjust to make it look like a flower. So you're going to glue again and put our pink on top. Going to hold it down until it dries, and we're going to adjust our petals is what I call them. I absolutely love these flowers. This picture doesn't do it justice on this part right here, but they are super cute. I'm not going to lie, the white twine I was not crazy about. It was a little too flimsy, but I went with it and it turned out okay. Now I'm deciding if I want to use the black buttons, and I decided, no, you know what? Those are too big. It's part of being creative, right? Sometimes you have an idea, it does not turn out. So I decided I would try to tie my natural twine together about 4 times in a knot to place in the center of my flower. I'm going to tie it tight, and then I'm going to cut off any excess. Then we're going to go ahead and glue it into the center of our flower, and it turns out super cute. I love knotting up the rope and making it into pieces. Okay, we're going to set that aside. But I love the colors of this. Now we're going to go ahead and start with our pig, and we're going to sand it in a downward motion. You do not want to go up and down because it will tear the paper. You just want to go down, and the pieces come off great. Super easy. You could have maybe painted the pig or stained the pig. I didn't think it mattered. I thought it looked fine. I'm using a 220 grit sandpaper piece that I love, that could just roll up and get into those hard to reach places. So I really suggest that. The blocks are great, but not for little areas like this in the pig. So now I'm going to go ahead and look at my placement and kind of decide what I want to do. And I'm not quite sure. And that's part of just being creative. Lay it down, see what hits, best for you, what you like, what you don't. I'm going to go ahead and glue down my pig because I know where I want that pig to go. Super cute pig. I love that paper. So I decided I'm going to put farm above the pig. Well, I'll decide that in a minute. And I'm going to decide if I want to put maybe a bow or a flower or something around the pig's neck. But nothing looks right. So you just kind of got to go with what looks good for you and be you. Just because I don't like it doesn't mean you won't like it there. So I found this little chalkboard clothespin piece I got from the Dollar Tree. I got 4 of them for $1 and decided I was going to go ahead and use that like a recipe holder. So now I'm going to go ahead and glue down my farm pieces. And I found this star in my stash too. Who doesn't love a stash? People say you have too much junk and you're hoarding it. You end up using it. You find ways to use it. But us crafters know that. So I tried to glue down the star and it wouldn't stay. So I flattened it down a little bit. And then I got it to stick. I am fumbling on my words. So I decided I wanted to put the little chalkboard piece down at the bottom. And I'm deciding where I want to put this flower because I do want to use it. I love these flowers. You don't have to use it. It looks cute just the way it is with that star on there. I decided that I would stain the the clothespin chalk piece the same color as the frame and the farm piece. Now I decided to make a smaller flower as I thought the one I made before was a little too big for my project, and that happens, but I'll keep it because I'll use it for something else. Don't throw the pieces away. So I'm deciding again where I would like to place this flower, because I love the flower and I want to put it on here. I should have maybe put it on the neck. It didn't look too bad. The time I was doing it, I didn't like how it looked. So I didn't go with it. It's all a preference for you, really. I decided I kind of liked it on top of the star, and I found this little bead in my stash once again and decided that's where I would put it. So I went ahead and got my Gorilla Glue and glued it on. And you could have just left it like that, honestly, and it's super cute. But, of course, I didn't. I glued it on there because I wanted to use it. So you just be you. You go with it. Decide what you like. Sometimes it takes a little bit of placement to decide where you want everything. But it turned out super cute. I love it. I love that little pig and that paper. I'm telling you, it's adorable. So give it a shot. Find your thrift store pieces and put them together and just be you. Be creative. Get inspired. Anyway, thank you so much. Have a good day.